we are in Mityana General Hospital today, and we are actually trying to train the health workers and the village health teams about Duchenne muscular dystrophy, but also about the muscular dystrophies. We want to be able to have our community health teams identify these children and individuals with muscular dystrophies and be able to help us know the prevalence of muscular dystrophies and Duchenne in the country. We have just spoken to the community health workers, and this afternoon we are now going to talk to the health workers around and within Mityana district, and this is just all about Duchenne muscular dystrophy. I would, however, want to say thank you to CoRSU Hospital. I would like to say thank you so much to Global Medical Grants for availing funds that have enabled us to do the training for the different health workers and different village health teams in the different districts. And would like to also say thank you to Pfizer. Thank you everyone as well, the community workers and the health workers, for availing yourselves and being a part of this journey. Thank you.
Dare to know, dare to help.
You see these questionnaires that I've taken? Eh? The ones we did in Masaka, we found that 90% of us health workers don't know about Duchenne. Okay? And then for us at CoRSU, since it's a rehabilitation hospital, and since many times it will be the children, for me as the pediatrician who sits in that room, I will get children sent to me. And you know the reason they are sending me those children? You try and guess. Guess, there's no wrong answer. Mwazemu Debbie Buzo, get that to Lari Seke, Nyalabadanje. Oh, yeah, thank you for that, but everyone can be able to handle them. After this, you should be good to go. That, yes, but what is the reason for referral? CoRSU deals with disability. So what disability are they writing there for me to deal with? Try and tell me. Eh? I have not seen anyone who has referred me a child for Duchenne. But we've seen in our clinic over the last, we've been piling up the data. We have 15 children in our clinic with Duchenne, but they all came in with a different diagnosis. Gorgeous. Cerebral palsy. You know why? What has the doctor told you? Why do you think they come in as cerebral palsy? Namwe, this is interactive. Yes, my dear? Yeah, they probably came in late stages. And the late stages, these children are not able to, they're wheelchair bound. Or as they progress to that stage, they are starting to be weak, they are not doing things, they have contractures, right? So they come in as cerebral palsy, okay? So everything muscular, everything that disturbs our movement, in Uganda we know it is cerebral palsy as health workers. And so we see the first patient, the next one, Duchenne is there, okay? And let me tell you, have you seen any child here with Duchenne? Pardon? Yes, sir? Have you actually given a diagnosis of Duchenne? You haven't. But you're going to start to pick them out. And that is what we want. We don't want those children to be in their communities and be managed as children with cerebral palsy. Or abana bevaluga. Managed by which? And let me tell you, 80% of the children, 80 or more, all the children, not all the children, but most of the children that I've seen with Duchenne, and most of the children that Dr. Sebunya has seen with Duchenne, have visited the witch doctor. We are in an African setting. I'm African. Anyone white here? Sinamulabo Muzungu. Kevin, you're white? Ah. We are all Africans. Not so. At the end of the day, today, we have a jajabani. Bajajaba culture. Jajabagada. At the end of the day, we go back to our culture. At the end of the day, abasawo bana abayivu bana abali wano bwe balemererwa nga tugenda wa musabo. Most of them. Okay? But even us, Munange, when we get these children with CP, some of us run where? Even if we are doctors. And if a doctor is running there, what do we expect the community people to do? Okay? They'll sleep there. But you know, for Duchenne, we've really been doing that because we didn't, you know, like we know, but it is the last thing on our minds. So a year from now, 2 years from now, maximum, I want all of us in all health centers to be able to pick up children with Duchenne. The same way we are able to pick up these children with sickle cell, not so. 10 years, 15 years ago, if you had a mother walk into your consultation room or whatever space you are working in, and they have yellow eyes and they need blood transfusion and they've required recurrent blood transfusion, yena mutini nomubuza mwana ina sickle cell. 15 years ago bali batuddamu ki? 15 years ago. Ayina ebintu ebimunywamu omusaayi, si kyo? Ewaffe tulinayo sickle cell nga bakuddamu ki? Nedda ekyo kiki, si kyo? Today, pick on any old woman in the hospital, ask them. I know one, I know yellow eyes or something, I know anemia, and they are sicklers. Ask them, mwana ayina sickle cell. Ajja kuddamu ki? Ayina sickle cell munnange, tulina sickle cell ewaffe. Era atera okujja ne tufuna omusaayi alina mu clinic eya sickle cell. Si kyo? Temulina sickle cell clinic? Mukitegedde? Eyo sickle cell clinic ebaddewo for how long? (2016). You get it? So 10 years ago, it was not on our minds. So we would get children with sickle cell and we would mismanage them, not so. And many children would die of anemia in the community because even the village health workers didn't know what it was, sickle cell, okay? But now they're able to see a child, but this family, they have quite a number of children, sickly, always having anemia or, always getting painful crises, and they pick them out, okay? So we want in the next 1 year or two that these village health workers are able to identify them. But even us as health workers, so it's useless for them to identify when for us we can't do what? Manage, even continue with care or link them to care, okay? So that's why we are here. For what? For Duchenne, all right? So I'm supposed to take you through the presentation, the video presentation. Dr. Deus has already taken us through everything. Should we do sections or we can all see? We can all see. When we were training the village health workers, They said ono omwana baali bamulabyeko. Ne bagamba nti omwana ono alina ki? Wapi teri yabadde amanyi Duchenne. Andi mumanyi okugamba Duchenne. Mugambye kati nno kambagambe ekirala kye bagambye. Bagambye omwana w'omusawo si kyo. Yalina amalala. Omwana yalina amalala oyo. Nga yenna, what did they say akabina? Abibinala, omwana atambula yenna abibinadde. Right? Yeah? Kyokka ng'omwana. Ati bagamba omwana w'omusawo. Omusawo omwana amuwadde amalala. Si kyo? Omwana akoze eki? Adigidde abibinadde. That's a new Luganda word I learned. But can you imagine? Are you seeing? Are you seeing that chest? Are you seeing that chest? Are you seeing the back? Are you seeing that C? Are you seeing how the bum is stretched out? Bambi, he's trying to get stability. Mujjukira Dr. Deus kyagambye. Agira bwati gundi to get stability. They are there.
To my village and their neighbors.
Okay? You get it. So omwana in the at home, we say omwana waawe alina amalala. Yenna atambuza malala. Ate nno taata we bw'abeerako ne ssente namutandika okwogera. Not so. If the mother is also a bit, not arrogant, but teyewa bantu, nga mutandika okwogera. Si kyo? Right? So do you see how the stigma actually affects these children? Can you imagine what that child went through? That child oli gwe bayita abibinala. Owa atambula n'amalala. Yeah? So see our calf muscles? Yeah? Big. So bw'ofuna omwana and you're thinking, maybe has Duchenne, tiptoeing, alina frequent falls, abadde atambula naye agenze afuna muscle weakness. Pull up those trousers. Look at the calf muscle to be big. Okay? All right? You've seen it? Undress that boy. Undress the boy. You know, us as health workers, we are now listening to the chest with the cloth on. The child is saying, I have weakness in my hands, my legs. You're not even telling them to pull up their trousers a bit. Let's remove those shirts. Let's pull up the trousers. And let's look at those calf muscles. So they'll have, these areas will be wasted. They'll have some wasting in there. Even the thighs will have some wasting. They don't have polio, because polio affects one what? Okay? So you see how they are tippy-toeing? Yeah? So they walk on their tippy toes. They toe walk. Okay? So you have children, abaja in the clinic, and the mother is saying, omwana atambuza bugere. Examine the what? The child. It might be idiopathic. There is a lot of idiopathic toe walking, by the way. A lot. We see a lot in CoRSU. Okay? There's a lot of idiopathic toe walking, but follow them up. If you think you can't help that family, refer them. Refer them to a pediatrician, refer them to a pediatric neurologist. Okay? So, you've seen that curved back, the C, So undress them, look at the calf, look at that child walking. Tebatambuza ngatto. When you're examining these children, yeah? Don't ask them, I hope your floor is clean. It's not clean. But you all can't see me. But I will shower tonight. But they will walk like this, okay? Okay? They won't plant. They won't plantar flex. They will. and then ask the child to run. When I'm doing the health workers training, I want it real practical. So when you ask them to walk, so they'll walk like this, walk like this, walk like this, then he'll occasionally do this, and then look at the feet. And when they are speed walking, he will do these, fidget around. I'm actually going to show you a video. Okay? So they will have fidgety movements. I am asking you to come. So I want you to walk to that gentleman. Quickly, speed walking. Okay, speed walk, come. Now walk. Don't lose that. Have you seen? That's how those children will. They will have fidgety. They are trying to get stability. And then their toes, they will plant, then they will toe, then they plant, then they toe walk. So you need to examine these children clearly without shoes. And their parents usually bring them in canvas shoes, because they will plant in the canvas shoes better than in these light sandals. So take their canvas shoes off. Do you have a physiotherapist? Are they here? Okay. So sometimes they help us pick out those children. Okay? Yeah, so we are done with Mwana, Tambuza, Malala. Everywhere we go, I pick something. Yeah. So these muscular dystrophies, there are so many. There are so many. Duchenne is the commonest, the #1 commonest muscular dystrophy. Okay? There are others. There is facioscapulohumeral. So facioscapulohumeral affects the face muscles of the scapular area and the humerus. So their weakness will be here. They will also have the C, the back, because the scapula is also affected. But their walking will be okay. Their gait, the muscles in the limbs will be, because they are not really affected. So that can affect girls, and it is what commonly affects the girls. Because we've told you Duchenne is for boys. You will see a girl and you're like, this one doesn't have Duchenne. Or you're not judge. I'm too deco. No, the other muscular what? Dystrophies, okay? There are muscular dystrophies that affect the limbs, okay? So there is one where it's actually mainly girls. And these girls will come in with contractures, okay? Emery Dreyfus muscular dystrophy, EDMD, okay? So those ones will come in with contractures. That's why I asked about the physiotherapist. They'll come in with contractures, then they get muscle weakness everywhere else, then their gait also gets affected. But the first thing are contractures for them. Very common in girls, okay? Then there are muscular dystrophies that just affect the oral and the pharyngeal area. So they can just drool and have difficulties with speech and swallowing and chewing, because it's just here, okay? Then there are muscular dystrophies that could start way early, the congenital muscular dystrophy. That one, the child might even fail to sit, but it is congenital. And that child will have a history of HIE. So some of the HIEs we get are not because of poor obstetric care, okay? The midwife can say, I did everything. I monitored the mother. I did everything. Neither child came out with. Kumbe, the child has a muscular dystrophy. Okay? So there are others, myotonic, whatever, but we want to be able to see all these children and classify the different muscular dystrophies. with a bias in Duchenne, okay? But we want to be able to also see all the other muscular dystrophies. So even when you see the girls, don't go like, no, this is not a muscular what? Dystrophy, okay? So now I'm showing you something. This is a, I'll first start with this half. This is a, what sex is this? What gender? You can see behind? This is a, they are all Ugandans. They are in our clinics, okay? And they are not from Kampala. They are referrals in, okay? So these children are there, okay? This is a, was she able to stand? This is a, mumaze questionnaire zange mwena mwena. Oh, waliwo ababba ebibuuzo. Kati mutandise answeringa, eh? Ate tuzikomyawo. We are only happy that you're picking something. This is a girl. But failing. This is a boy. So this boy actually has Duchenne. Eh? The girl has a facial scapulohumeral muscular dystrophy. Eh? So as the weakness is starting out, you remember what Dr. Deus said? Eh? The child will initially be able to get up, eh? Like the boy. Eh? Yeah? As it progresses, they can get off the floor and sit and look at you. They're not able to get up. But before it gets there, they will be able to hold themselves onto what? A table, a chair, yourself, and get up. After that, they really can't, because of the weakness in the muscles. Okay? So as you examine these children, just put them down there. You saw that this was the clinic, eh? And you saw the boy was naked. And you saw that the girl was in socks. So that we are able to see how they walk. We want to do it in shoes. And the boy was naked because we wanted to look at the muscle bulk. They'll have some wasting. Mulabye nti mutinitini. I don't know mwala ndo naye mutini. So nutrition is important because we use muscles to swallow. We use muscles to chew. We use muscles to hold up that cup and feed ourselves. Do you know that? Those are tiny things we take for granted. Okay? But with time, it's hard for them to do these things. Okay? Yeah? Okay. So I said I'll show you the fidgeting of running. Eh? What else did I want to say? So link these children into care. Yeah? At CoRSU, we are going to be able to. So this is a boy. He's already tired. Look at the feet, look at the hands. And you actually think, like techikutwalira na budde. For you as a health worker, told it nachiwa budde. Nti omwana oyo adduka atya. Kyokka nga okudduka kwe kukugamba nti omwana alina muscular ki? Mukitegedde. So I want us to be very keen. I want us to be able to pick out these children. I want us to be able to give care to these children. And for now, we want to know the prevalence of muscular dystrophies because we don't know it. Not so. We don't know the prevalence. And when we don't know the prevalence, you have only one physiotherapist in this place. Not so. And Bambi, I'm here saying, who is a physiotherapist? For what population of people? One. In the whole what? They have to work on the orthopedic cases. They have to work on the cardiac cases. They have to work on the CPs. They have to work on which other ones? The judges, the sports people who have had injuries. They have to work on so many people. But they are? You get it, So even them, they get overwhelmed. But they can't say we are overwhelmed because we don't even know the prevalence of some of these diseases. We don't even know they are there. You get, So we want to be able to know the prevalence of Duchenne in Uganda. Okay? Are there lab people here? Are there lab people? Where are they? Ani wa lab? Chokaba! Tugenda kwekuba ebikonde. Obadde weebase yeeroopye. Mukola creatinine kinase. Waki? Temukola creatinine kinase. Olina reagent.
My boss is going to answer that.
Naye nga tozirina. So, creatinine kinase is the very basic test we can do for Duchenne. Did you know that? Wabadde mu question ya lab. Okayise. Akayise by luck. Mubadde mumanyi nti creatinine kinase gwe mulina okozesa abeera elevated so high among all the muscular dystrophies. It's ridiculously high, and that's what we are going to use in Kampala. The prime place gye mu benchmarkingirako sikyo temu benchmarkingira ku Kampala gye tugenda okukozesa creatinine. It will be in 30,000, 100,000. It's usually very high. In the other muscular dystrophies, it will be elevated, but not as elevated as Duchenne. Okay? So after we've done creatinine kinase, what is the next test we need to do? We're not in class. What other test do we need to do? We're speaking in tongues. Okay. Creatinine kinase. So the confirmatory test, any amani confirmatory test for Duchenne or muscular dystrophies. CK is creatinine kinase. So it is genetic testing. How much is genetic testing? Wanji? Sister, genetic test again. 1.6 Sister agambye agenda zimpa. Ogenda zimpa? Zekole ku mwana oli gwe nnafuna. Ogenda zimpa maama? Ate kuraki. So confirmatory test is genetic testing, but it's not done in Uganda. It's done in South Africa. The only African country that does the confirmatory test. You see why they are going to the witch doctors? Are you seeing?